You have this neuroplastic window that opens up very much so within the first 24 hours. And then they're kind of unsure how long that critical period opens and stays open, but it can be up to a few weeks. Nobody really knows, and that also could be very individualized. So, what I think is just so amazing about it is like you have this, I like, and that's what I said in the group too, like the journey gets the most attention because
Hmm.
it's this cool or hard or interesting or mundane experience. But then the aftermath is actually what's the most important. The pre and the post are what's most important. So then
Hmm.
you've got this critical, your brain has been flooded with BDNF, which is this chemical that helps you open up your neuroplastic window. And what you do during that time will actually start to rewire your brain. So if you just do a medicine journey and then you go back to exactly what you were doing every other day, not much is going to change. You might just have like a,
Mm.
that was a cool experience. But if you
Yeah.
take what you did and like something that, a really minor shift, like one session that I had, I was like, I stomp. And I never realized how much I stomp. Like when I walk, I stomp. And
Okay.
that one session changed the way I walk. And it
Yeah.
had nothing to do with my intention. It actually kind of did because it was like, I want to move through the world with like, I don't remember exactly what my intention was, but stomping was not part, like, I didn't want to stomp through the world.
Yeah.
Ketamine can also give you these interesting insights that are kind of unexpected. But
Hmm.
then putting into practice those things that the next day and then doing that continually is actually what starts to train your brain to make new neural pathways. But I'll also say that I think there's a way that sometimes people are like, oh, I'm still doing that thing. I'm like, of course you're still doing
Hmm.
that thing because that thing's been with you for decades, whatever that thing
Right.
is. And so it's not about like, I'm going to be like this and then I'm going to be like this the next day. It's not a light switch, but if we make these like small changes that are sustainable and doable, I'd like to think of them as micro practices, something we can do in 5 minutes or less in our day. Those things build on each other. And then lo and behold, things that were really hard maybe aren't as hard as they were 2 months down the road, 3 months down the road. But there
Yeah.
can be these light switches. Like just recently, I was talking with somebody after their session and they were talking about their childhood trauma and they had some the spaciousness around it where they thought it was funny. And I
Mhm.
was like, have you ever had that thought? And they were like, no, I've never looked at that as being funny. And so to just have that much spaciousness around something that was really painful is